but I'm
No,
not sure.
I think what has to happen is, because before we were even on Club Express, Kath would send them
Oh.
to me. So I think what we need to do is I need to use I either have to do a tutorial on Zoom or wait for somebody like Christina to do this, but
Yeah.
But you
Nobody wants to do a tutorial.
contact Kath and see if she can give you some insight.
oh, that's true. I can call Kath.
Since
Christina
she's
told
done
me
it.
she is taking her, if she's gone, she's taking her iPad and her phone with her.
Yes.
So she'll be able to
But she isn't gone yet. I thought she wasn't going till next week.
I don't know when she goes.
Anyway, I didn't call her yesterday afternoon because of the briefing. And Tom, were you in on the briefing?
I was in Cheyenne helping my daughter move.
Oh, okay.
So what happened in the briefing?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I was just, I just know that Pat doesn't have there she is, doesn't have an LCD. So I'm not sure if they resolved that yesterday or not. And Pat, Sandy Schuster was so wise to remember what we forgot about
It only
asking Christina.
took me a few hours.
Well, I hadn't yet, and I had a few hours, so. Okay.
It was how to get the minutes off of the recording.
And then I also need to know how to put them on YouTube. My grandson could probably tell me that. But
do you have a YouTube account?
No.
That's the first thing you have to do.
I
you have to pay.
I think the league has a YouTube account.
Oh, good. I don't have to pay.
I don't know that for sure, but I think they do.
Well, maybe I'll call, if I can't get a hold of Christina. I'm kind of busy today, but if I can't get a hold of Christina after 4, I might call Terry. Would Terry Urbanowski know that?
You know who might know it is actually Gloria Kennedy.
Okay. I'll call Gloria.
Be prepared for a long conversation.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Is Kath still in Denver?
No.
Because last time I communicated with her, she was in Chicago.
Oh, I don't know. When was that? A while back? Or?
That was well, maybe a week ago.
Okay, and she was heading for
Oh, she was in Chicago.
Okay.
Her father died.
She's working. She's working on the estate, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she said she was going to be there to at least the end of the month. So now this is November. I don't know whether she's returned yet or not.
I'll text her and see. Thank you. It looks like I had 3 people I can call. Welcome, Steve. How did it go?
Well,
I have to tell you, I'm like a crazy person trying to find you.
no, I joined the meeting and they started the hearing, and I guess I was first up and there was no audio for me.
Ah.
I
thought I had missed you, and I would have because I came in a little bit late, but.
So you didn't get to do it?
So I emailed them my statement and they had some good responses to the statement. I forwarded it to Sandy. If you want to all look at it, Sandy, you can share it with everyone, or forward it to everyone.
Did all of the commissioners? I only saw Tracy's response.
Yeah, the chief of staff, she forwarded it to the others. And then, one of them responded with a thank you for bringing up my suggestion for, you got to read it. It's a way to introduce EVs into the fleet without blowing their budget. So that's always the thing that's ignored, is a constrained budget. So I addressed that right up front. I said, I understand you have a very limited budget, but that's basically, I said, that's no excuse.
Right. And I think whoever is speaking, okay, Lori said she wasn't going to be here today. Who else are we? Elaine, Nancy?
Yeah, they should be here, but they aren't yet.
Pat,
I see you got electricity.
Yeah, I've been running around like a chicken with a head cut off. I did get it all down how I could connect with the audio. And just a little while ago, the power came back on. So, but then
It's a
I
miracle.
had to do some things here with the computer that I don't usually have to do after, it shut down with the power. And then I don't know what happened with the microphone. I could hear you, but I was muted and said my microphone wasn't working. And then I tested it. Hey, I'm frazzled, but I'm here. And I can't find anything about our last meeting because I was so frazzled. So I don't know if I was supposed to do something and I did it or I didn't do it.
You did. You spoke it for the BCC.
Yes.
So
Was I supposed to do anything else?
I don't think we had any other agenda.
Okay, good.
That's
Then
why I
did it.
sent that one thing as I was cleaning out my massive folder for Jeffco and
Yes.
found all that stuff. I don't know if any of that's important or not. We don't need to talk about that, but we do need to talk about, are we doing something in April and what are we doing? Because Betty has already sent us our
Our
calendar.
I didn't even open it yet, excuse me, but I had
It's in the voter,
yeah, okay.
What
here's-
is?
the calendar.
Oh,
But she sent us a calendar for our committee.
yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, so I did go after tomorrow and after yesterday and read the latest voter. I had one suggestion for, here where several of us are working on the Colorado Climate Emergency Task Force. Why in the world don't we take our own advice and use somebody else's program? Like the pollinators. The pollinators have got stuff all ready to go, although I don't think they had units. They have, speakers. But we can certainly look at, there's pollinators, there's some others that have stuff ready to go. And we're telling people, you should share this. So should we look and see if there's, use them as a starting, as a resource.
That was my suggestion, using Arapahoe Douglas's fire mitigation thing, wildfire thing. And Sandy said we had already done one, but I didn't think we had done one for quite a few years. I don't remember.
On wildfire?
Yeah. I know that a while back, at least 5 years, the Mountain Parks unit did something with that they presented to us. And Christina said she couldn't remember. She said it's been a really long time. So I don't know. But that's something we could do. That is already set up. They went from national to state. So they have all that online that we could just use. And then we'd have to insert local, which would be Jeffco. Take out their Arapahoe Douglas guy or girl or whatever, and then put in the Jeffco one. And it's, that's one we can do also. The pollinators would be interesting. And as Jane Hamburger brought up, they're working on a national thing to get native plants along the highways, so that the pollinators have monarchs and whatever have a food source along the way. So, that's something we could work on too. Two possibilities. We just have to decide and then get moving.
Well, maybe we need to everyone take a look at some of the stuff that's available through the Colorado emergency, climate change emergency. What are we?
Well, I think it might be easier if we just went on Arapahoe Douglas and looked at their wildfire thing, because that's on their main page, and same with Larimer County.
Okay.
And how would we find out when the last time we did the fire mitigation?
Would it be in the history and program?
I'm sorry, what?
Would it be in our local history and program book?
Yeah. Do you have the latest one? Or is that's online?
Yeah, I have a printed copy of the 2 years ago.
So it should be in there, because it's been at least, I think it's been 5.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. I think it's a great idea for us to use what's already been done. And then because we worked really hard on the first thing. So something a little, I mean, if we're going to do 2 a year, which we don't have to, then we should, you know, do one that we put a lot of energy into and the other one that we kind of put together from other people's using other resources that are available out there.
Well, the other thing that might be good is talking about COP26, because actually people have asked me what's COP26, and
yeah,
I was a little surprised they didn't know, but I guess I didn't know what it was.
Well, I don't think a lot of
either.
people know what the COP stands for, and that's because it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Committee of Persons, is that what it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a weird title.
Make
it climate something, you know. That we could talk about what COP26 means for Jeffco, the state and Jeffco, you know, whatever.
Yep. I see that people thought we should be more specific to Jeffco, but this is such a worldwide problem. It's kind of hard to be just Jeffco specific on climate change.
Well, and it's going to change, even though it's a national thing, international thing and national thing, it's going to change at the state and local level. So I don't have any problems with that. And along with that, we can, I'm going to have to pull up what I sent you guys because I don't remember.
I think you were cleaning out your files and you wanted us to take care of your paperwork.
No. Okay.
Can you walk through these notes you sent?
That's what I was talking about. I'm going to pull them up right now.
A lot of words in there. And then there's a link in there. Let me check that out.
I think they were green sheets, huh?
Yeah, it was info from the green sheets from May.
From one time, okay.
One of them was, and the other was something that we talked about over the summer. Okay, where did I put that, Jeffco?
Well, to review what I went over with the commission, basically is at the local level, there's no reason to wait for federal action. There's things they can do at the local level and can fit it into their budget. I focused on the fleet, of course, but we can move into other topics. I think we have found already that waiting just creates more waiting. It reminds me of the corporate world. Before a company takes action, they look at what the other companies are doing. And
good point.
It seems like we're, Jeffco, Lakewood, Arvada could just, the bottom line is that all where it hits the street is locally. It really doesn't hit the street at the federal level. What they can do is leverage on it. They can provide money and oversight and guidelines, but even when the federal money comes through, it's going to come back to the local level to do it, or the companies to do it. I mean, the federal procurement can probably do something too, just like a Jeffco procurement. But the idea of eliminating the misconception that clean energy is more expensive needs to be just hit straight on, that it's not more expensive. So let's start locally pushing for clean energy. Just one point. But waiting.
One of the things we decided with our meeting yesterday was that we didn't want to have them dictating to the lower echelons what they should be doing, but it was more individuals, that they should be doing something big, because that's the only thing that's going to fix this.
Okay, I found my notes. Excuse me for interrupting here, but just to remind everybody, Christina needs the Zoom at 12 o'clock, so we have to be off. I'm sure we'll be off. We're usually
Tom and I are
done.
going to a meeting at 11, so we're going to be off at 11.
Okay, great. I mean, not great, but the next commission meeting is next Wednesday at 4 p.m. So I have that on my schedule, and if anybody else wants to go on and watch or whatever. Do we have somebody who wants to sign up for the next Tuesday, which would be the 9th? Tom?
We're missing a lot of people.
Sandy?
No, I've got to
Okay.
get an implant.
Okay. We have, I mean, we can definitely skip. We don't need to do that and just work on that.
Well, do you want them to actually hear what I had for a statement in addition to what I emailed them? I emailed them thinking this was a big bust, not being able to
Yeah.
hear anything
I
on the
would
microphone.
love for you to do that again if you want to try again. The thing about having you say it and it being recorded is then everybody can pull it up. Other people who pull up the BBC later can hear that, whereas your written comments aren't. So if you want to do it again next week, that'd be great.
Let me look at my calendar while we're talking.
Okay.
I'll look at my calendar.
I did a link in there because I found an article talking about how they're starting to use land around interstate highways to put in, and exchanges to put in solar panels, which Jefferson County has a ton of. You know, not 70 per se, but we have all of 470 along there. It just seemed like something else Jeffco could be doing.
I wonder if they have to take them down when they do road repairs.
Well, they're not that close.
I don't know how far the
Right away goes.
right away goes. You know, when they fix your roof, they have to take them off piece by piece. I don't know how much that costs, but it must be.
Well, I think only for mowing, because we're talking about on the side of the road. Or I don't know, maybe in the middle too. Maybe this is something I send to the Sustainability Commission.
Yeah.
To
I would say
investigate,
so.
yeah.
And
470 is a state highway.
That's right.
So that would be the state having done that. We'd have to look at the county roads.
Isn't it a private? It's not private yet, but it's probably will
No.
end up being private, won't it?
I don't think so. Maybe, well, E470 is a public-private partnership, but C470 is a state highway.
yeah, but it could be, I mean, it's not something that is out of wouldn't just, I'm sure the federal government, hopefully the federal government and the state would be willing to do something like that. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out from the commission.
You're talking about county, Sandy.
I know, but if the federal government says yes, 470 is state, correct?
470 is a state highway, yes.
So if the state is willing to do that and allows the county to do something like that.
I need to say C470 is a
right.
state road. E470 is a public-private partnership.
Right. Okay, so I'm willing to do that. So last summer, Sandy, when you guys started doing the weekly, you have something every month in the voter. That's this
Every
last
week.
summer idea. Is
Every
there
week.
anything like that we could do? Do you want to put that into, those are usually links, is that right?
They can be links or articles. If you send me an article, I'll put it in.
I'm just wondering if we want to get that going in the hub, maybe.
So take it, that's.
And then you have to talk to
Gloria?
Karen, the one from Evergreen.
Groves. Karen
Groves,
Groves.
thank you. Yes, Groves, yes, thank you. She
Oh,
does
really?
the-
She's
she
doing
does
that,
the
not,
newspapers.
okay.
They are actually meeting as we speak. I picked this meeting instead.
The communication group.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking that, I don't know. I'm thinking that Jeffco isn't prepared for what's coming. Jefferson County isn't prepared, and the people in Jefferson County, if you know about a COP26 or any of the changes, or you know, how is this going to affect me? And maybe that's a call.
how to change your electrical appliances to, or your gas appliances to electric.
Well, I
Nobody
don't.
knows about that.
Right. And well, even just electrifying, you know, getting an electric car, what can you do? Kind of a thing.
That was the
People look
point.
at you very dazedly when you say you have to change all your appliances to electric appliances.
Well, that's not going to happen overnight. I mean, California has
needs
been
to.
paying people to do that, you know.
Right.
Well, we decided yesterday that we should focus on the big picture and the big targets. Like
Right.
instead of going after the rabbit, go after the elk if you're looking for meat.
Oh,
How very predatory of you.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I think the articles about the changes and the current conferences like the COP, whatever it is, number. I think the articles about that would be better than just continuing to push, you know, what you personally, because as a lot of people are saying, to do some of the personal things, not everybody is going to be able to buy an electric car right away. There are a lot of people now interested. Tesla stock has, you know, gone through the roof, but there's still not going to be a majority of people ready to buy an electric car.
Well, this is where I spoke to the commission about their fleet.
Yes, yes.
And I stayed away from personal, and I can do another one that's county level.
And didn't you do one a while back?
About what?
You did I thought you did an article for the voter a while back. Is that something we could submit to the hub about electrification?
It's not electrification. It was the Jeffco hazardous waste facility that I submitted to the voter. But yeah, we could do the electrification based on the statement I made to the commission about fleets.
Right. And we don't necessarily need to tell people to go out and buy, but you know, what's it going to look like? There are going to be chargers up and around. How will that, you know, what does that mean to you, kind of a thing? I don't know.
It's all over the radio today about Denver launching its first all electric school bus. And one of the commentaries was it's going to save the school district $30,000 during its
over
lifetime.
15 years.
Over 15 years, yeah.
Not much.
Well, you know,
it's not a good thing to use to sell it, I don't think.
But well, if they do the whole fleet, you know, pretty soon. I mean, especially as gasoline is going to not be there for a long time.
You know, why don't I read what I read them? It takes 3 minutes. Because when you said that's not much, that's not the point. The point is it is cheaper than continuing your old gasoline fleet, and it's cleaner. Not much
the cleaner
doesn't
part
matter.
I agree with. It's the money saving part that really doesn't make sense.
So yeah, I can read this to you. I mean, we're kind of hovering around what I stated.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like me to?
Yes, I would like you to.
Sandy, is there time?
Vanda
Okay.
Hayer. Yes, we're all, I
Just-
think, go ahead.
I support the creation and continuation of the Jefferson County Commission in the development of a climate action plan. Moving from a plan to action in operations is a challenge, especially with limited budget. So I say that right away. However, given the latest red zone update from the International Panel on Climate Change, I think that taking action now has become critical. A strong clean energy foundation is now in place in Colorado to implement cost-effective actions that improve our lifestyles and our environment. A few of the many actions can focus on fleet vehicles. So I'm not asking individuals to do anything here. I'm asking the county to set an example. I think that the county's procurement procedures can be leveraged to make a big difference with fleet vehicles. The Climate Action Plan can enable county purchases to immediately start replacing older gasoline and diesel vehicles with electric vehicles over a 5-year period. The plan can also incorporate the total cost of owning or leasing for a purchase, rather than the use of outdated methods selecting the lowest initial purchase prices. Consider that EVs have no oil changes and no engine blocks, with hundreds of moving parts, with maintenance and complicated supply chains for gasoline and diesel vehicles. Longer-term thinking beyond a year will likely reveal that the total cost of owning and maintaining or leasing EVs would be lower and less complicated than with gasoline and diesel vehicles. Companies and agencies are now purchasing large numbers of electric fleet vehicles. This did not happen overnight. Larger companies and agencies started purchasing electric vehicles over a decade ago. Action plans intentionally replaced thousands of aging conventional vehicles with EVs over this period. With each year of these purchases, manufacturers responded with better and better vehicles. These fleets are becoming cleaner. With this decade of demand from larger purchases, electric vehicles have reached a point where they're more competitive and now offer innovative technologies. Now is the time that smaller companies and agencies, such as our county, can and should join in with year-over-year EV purchases. Similar rapid advancements in innovation and benefits are happening in solar power, wind power, battery storage, transmission, and many other key sectors. Now is the time to join in and reap significant benefits for our community by building on the Clean Energy Foundation. Our county can set an example of leadership for the community. I look forward to progress on mitigating climate change impacts through the Climate Action Plan. Thank you. So, the points you were making are right on. We're not asking the people sacrifice. We ask the county to set an example. Not only do they have to buy these EVs, but one company that I'm aware of 10 years ago not only started buying EVs, but they set up charging for those EVs on their property. So every day the company vehicles can go out and do their technician work and then come back and charge overnight. And it's been a great success, and it's been 10 years.
Well, and to think that the state isn't going to provide some financial support, that the federal government is not going to provide some financial support. It's going to take money, you're right. And the savings isn't going to be immediate, but 3 years from now, the savings will be, especially if gas stays at $3.50. I mean, I can honestly say now, after almost 2 years, it'll be 2 years in January, not buying gas at all, I could count that up on how much I've saved. Now, to calculate how much I've used, I have not seen any difference in my utility bill, even though I'm charging an electric vehicle. So, I mean, I just think that people don't know what this is going to look like. And so they ignore it. And I think we could probably help them. The whole reforestation thing that just happened with COP, that's a huge thing. That's a big thing for Colorado. What will the federal government do to help? we don't know yet, but there will be money if they ever get off their own. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we can't wait for them.
No,
The action happens at the local level, even if federal money comes in. That's where the planning and the money and all that can happen at the federal level. But when hands start moving parts and feet start moving and boots start stomping, it's always the local level. So they might as well. My point was procurement is old fashioned. They look at price point for savings on the next quarter of the next year. And I used to have to put up with that for several years. And I had to invent my own total cost of ownership submissions to make purchases for large companies. I had to invent those techniques, and they still don't accept them. They still look at the current executives in charge and what they personally can save in price, and they have nothing to do with the total cost. So the
Right,
county
and
could look at longer term, like you said, Sandy, longer term procurement thinking. No, you're not going to get savings in the next 6 months. What project ever does that anyway? We just ignore it. You always get savings after 2 or 3 years. Always. There's very few projects in reality that save you money in the first 6 months. It's crazy.
well, and
thinking.
that's an American problem. I mean, that's why, we look so short term to the next quarter so that you can, post your earnings kind of a thing for
Right.
shareholders. It's just not realistic.
So did it make a difference to talk it? Should I talk it at the commission meeting? Or should I make a statement verbally to them?
What's the question?
I would love for you to do that, but that's a lot to ask. It's up to, I think it makes a difference because it's on the record.
Okay.
You writing a letter, it is not there's no place that is recorded.
All right.
And anybody who goes back and listens to the recording from that meeting next week or whatever will hear you say this. I think it's planting a seed for them. I think it's a nudge for them, but it's also for the community. People are giving them the BCC some ideas of things that they can do.
So it could be a template if you like it. It puts a lot of, it says they can enable themselves. They don't have to wait for funding. They don't have to wait for feds to say you can go do it. They don't have to wait. So can't someone put together a 3-minute similar approach for deforestation for Jefferson County and talk to the commission on that one? And let's pick other topics and use what I wrote as a template to say, we're not asking individuals to ruin their lifestyle. We're not asking for you to wait for federal money. We're saying, if you just look at how you purchase things, how you use things, how you maintain things, these ideas on deforestation will very likely yield benefits for the community over what you've been doing. And just say, go think about it, commission. Go think about, change your mindset.
Next week we're doing Plan Jeffco. And that very well could be a jumping point for deforestation also. It's one of those things that we have made a commitment in this county to preserving natural areas. So I don't know, just a thought. My mind goes funny places.
I think that I would love to have you do this a live presentation to the Board of County Commissioners, and just say, I was unable to, connect with the audio when I planned to give this, and I have sent it as an email, but I would like you to hear it in person from me. Just
okay.
Well, and I would also say you and the public.
Yes, you and the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On record, whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to go. I'd like my statement to be on record. That's good. That's good.
I'm kind of curious to see what's, I mean, the commission.
Well, they seem to be on our side.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, very much so. And poor Jeff Wong didn't want us telling the commission that he's talking to us, kind of thing, which is fine. You know, we can have a mole.
He didn't want us, he didn't want what?
He asked us not to, when we wrote to the commissioners, not to include his name. I thought it was a natural to include his name because he was head of the commission, but he asked
That's
not
scary.
to because he did not want them to think that he was, he didn't say feeding us information, but you know, that's basically what he said.
Aren't we the public should be getting the information?
Yeah.
I 100% agree, but from his position, you know,
Wow.
he's asking us from his position. I would rather have him as an, you know, as an ally than.
Well, yeah, I would too, but I mean, it's bad that he can't share the information.
Well, I don't know that, you know, I don't know if he's being, I don't know the politics here. So I'm just going to do what he asks. I think we all
So-
should.
Tracy Kraft Sharp was the one that did a thank you to my written one. I didn't hear from any of the others.
So last time it was Leslie who wrote back to me.
Yep.
And that's what I'd like to do is I saved Leslie's. I want to compare the two, what Tracy wrote to you and what Leslie wrote to me, and just see, this is an
Form
automatic
letters.
response. They don't even really, you know, that some staff just sends out an automatic response or kind of thing. I'm curious as to how we're being responded to. And maybe that's, you know, I'm willing to go in and be more aggressive. Go back again and just say, you know, we've been offering up praise for what you've done, and now we're asking for action.
You know,
Tom, you had something you wanted to say about that, right?
No,
No?
Oh, I thought you did. What
About-
have they done since the 2014 or 2020 whatever, the referendum or something that they wrote? But we can do that. Tom doesn't have to do it. I mean, we can look at stuff and craft it together and, you know, push us forward, kind of a thing.
Sandy, you said you listened in when I did mine. And what blew me away was I was the only person who said anything positive.
Oh, I know.
Everybody else just got up there and railed on him.
They had to escort the first guy
Yes,
off. He
yes.
had to be
Yeah.
pulled off the podium. And I spoke to two people and they said, oh, that happens all the time in a commissioners meeting. And I'm thinking they should love us.
Well,
We're well behaved and we're
And I-
positive.
when I finished early and said, and I finished, I had some time left. And I think it was Leslie said, well, you want to say something else? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I just said, oh, we're just so happy. Because I felt I had just had to be really upbeat because
Well, like I said, the first guy was a complete whack job who just kept going on. And it was about having RVs be able to park for longer than 14 days or 30 days or whatever the Jeffco rule is. I was like not really listening to him until he went off the deep end. Then the next lady was just railing on the commissioners about masks, which is not they don't get to decide masks. The school district and the public health get to decide that. So it was people just go there to yap,
well,
to vent, I should say.
yeah, vent. I mean, that's what some of the people, I mean, they attacked for school board things. Well, why didn't they go to the school board meeting instead of, they were in the wrong place.
Yep.
So anyway, so that was interesting. I think that if we're limited on time here, I would like to suggest that we, I would be willing, not immediately, but we won't meet right away again, to look at a couple of things from our statewide committee and from Douglas County and Larimer County and see if, what I think would be easiest to adapt for Jeffco, rather than trying to launch a whole new thing on our own. And in the program, I find wildlife, but I don't find wildfire.
How far back does it go?
Oh, this goes back to the 50s.
Oh,
Well,
so
Carol-
it was
Carol did it.
probably an
Maybe we can ask-
FYI.
We can
So would
ask
it still
Carol
show
about
up on
it.
there?
We could ask
Wait.
Carol about it.
Who?
Carol
Carol did it.
Frobos.
Oh, good idea. Do you want me to call her?
Well, why don't you do
Uh,
that? Why don't you just do that on your list of things? And I'll look at the Douglas count, Arapahoe Douglas, they just do a daytime and an evening, don't they? They
I
don't
don't
have,
even know if they have units anymore.
what I'm saying, they don't have units. They have two presentations, one in the daytime and one in the evening, I think.
Maybe.
But they're not units. They're made, maybe they meet over there. By that library, Castle something library on Arapahoe Road. I think.
Oh, that's, can't think of the name of it.
Yeah. And then Larimer County doesn't do units either. Larimer County does like general meetings. But certainly I would take upon myself to look at those two things and see how basing our stuff on their research.
What are we interested in doing? Let's think about that too.
I'm very interested in both of those things, but I'm more interested in the pollinators. They're really important for our food supply. And I think a lot of people still don't think about it. Wildfire, good grief, they're revisiting the fire was so bad last year up in Rocky Mountain National Park in Grant County.
Well, and we've had quite a few fires in Jeffco.
Oh, yes. They just
I
haven't
mean,
got,
they're not huge ones like that, but they're, we've had them.
well, there was a huge one just south of us, a few years ago. We have friends who were packed to evacuate, and they were way far, much closer. Well, they were by Pine Junction.
Yeah.
It stopped. They got it stopped before it got
It's-
to Pine Junction, but
Somebody mentioned yesterday or whatever that there was also, or is going to be a special about all of the new tech that and I've seen a couple of those through California and whatever, how they're going and putting out little, embers because they can see them. They have night flying equipment and whatever. So I think wildfires would be timely, and it wouldn't be a huge demand on our time. And I hate to make that the criteria, but all of us are doing other things. And
I just would think that we as a committee could put together something that adapt something that someone has already done. And
Okay.
That's the whole point of the task force, is share your information.
I agree. Does anybody want to do, we could do an update on COP. Also, we could talk about what happened at COP. We're not doing this till April,
Yeah,
but
you're saying we have time.
we have time. We could do what happened. We'll know in 2 weeks, whatever. There'll be tons of write-ups that we can just condense down and do an update on those, and then do wildfire or the pollinators. I haven't looked at any of the pollinator things. I did just get an email from Jane in Larimer County with pictures of a monarch butterfly and a bee. Did you guys get those?
Yes.
I couldn't find the monarch, but anyway, yeah. So, those are definite.
The bee is adorable.
The bee is adorable. That's that. Yeah, that's Cynthia. But okay. So is this where we wanted? We're kind of here.
Did you talk to Carol?
Yes, Carol was walking out the door, so she said she'd call me back later.
Mhm.
She didn't didn't remember them doing one, but if it's not in there, I'm wondering, would our FYIs
Might have been,
updates?
because we came to a position on wildlife. And we might have talked about wildfire in conjunction with wildlife.
We didn't, because we did the wildlife one.
They went and interviewed the wildfire guys, and they did all kinds of.
Right, I remember it. It wasn't that, I mean, it's been quite a few years.
So it probably was just an FYI, and we
Yeah.
didn't have anything in the book about it.
Right.
Isn't
Anyway,
everything
she'll
else
get back to me
FYI?
and we can, I think if we look at, what Arapahoe Douglas did and the pollinators off from Larimer, look at we could look at all the different ones in the state if we wanted to. We're committing our time, so I'm just.
Well, let me write this down. I'll take a look at, like I said, anybody else can too. I mean,
Well, I definitely want to look at the wildfire thing and see what they did.
and that's the Arapahoe Douglas, right?
Yeah,
I can work on distilling COP a little bit. I'd like to see it distilled to, a lot's been done to distill it to what you can do as an individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll look at it like I did with this last statement, what the county or local groups can do.
okay.
Well, I think COP
Yeah.
has been really strong on methane and how the escaping gases are really one of the biggest problems we have and something we can take care of quickly.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you guys are, but I'm getting 4 summaries from different things. We Can't Wait is one group, whatever, that are sending me a daily summary. So I can forward all of those.
No. Thank you.
No, I don't mean that. But then, I mean, from those summaries, we could easily build, a shortened kind of version.
Send them to me, Sandy. I'll be glad
Okay.
to team up on your idea of an update on COP.
Okay. So do we need to set a meeting for the next? And we haven't seen Nancy in a while. I'll give her a
know.
call.
I'm pretty sure she got the message.
Yeah. And Kathy's not here either, so.
Well, I keep getting her email back, and you asked me for another email for somebody.
Barbara Ford, because I got
Yeah,
hers
but
back.
Kathy's comes back too.
Oh, she doesn't come back to me. I'll send you the one I have.
Okay. It didn't used to come back, but it just started to this week.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, I sent out the links email last night and I didn't get it back from her. So I'll send you that. Okay, so we have a task. What do we want? Do we want to meet in 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Oh my goodness, you're putting so fast,
What?
so much pressure.
I'm sorry.
We're coming up on the holidays,
I know.
and
Got any plans?
well, Thanksgiving dinner for at least some of the extended family.
Yep. And the first week in December is I'm booked to the hilt. So avoid that.
So we're well into November already.
I'll be gone myself. Actually, we're contemplating taking our Tesla to the Corpus Christi and back.
Yay!
We're not sure yet. We've done trips, but this will be a electrification challenge. But it'll be the 11th through the 21st. We'll be gone. I can dial in from there.
Okay.
So you're talking November.
If you want to meet in November, the 16th works for me. God, every single day. The 16th and 19th are jumped to after the first week after in December.
Well, the 16th of November, I have a very important social event.
Okay.
With lunch with some old friends.
Okay.
So
if we did it early, 9:30
on the
No?
on the 16th,
yeah.
I thought Steve said he was going to be gone. What?
Yes,
Well,
but he said he could dial in.
I'll have my computer.
But you would be on the road, wouldn't you?
No, I'll be at a place in Corpus on the 16th.
Oh, okay.
I will be on the road just before that.
I actually already. No, I don't.
Well, that Friday I'm available too, if that works. Then those 2 weeks, the week of Thanksgiving and that first week in December, I'm booked pretty much daily.
So let's see. Today's the 4th. That's only well, I could do the 16th or the 19th, the 16th if we did it early.
19th, I'll probably be on the road. 16th, I should be.
16th at 9.
The 16th at 9?
Yeah.
Well, okay. We just really need to narrow down a topic and then we can branch out from there or whatever.
Okay.
I'll look up, Pat, do you want to look up the pollinators thing or
Sure.
both of them? I can look up both of them also, and then we'll have feedback from 2 people on either one of those. I might just go on a bunch of different websites and see if they have stuff on there.
Did you say 9 or 9:30?
9.
Do you not, we can't do 9:30?
We can. She asked me what I said. I said 9.
Okay.
But 9:30 is fine. What do you want?
Pat?
Oh, I don't care 9 or 9:30.
Okay, then let's do 9.
I just don't do other things before about 8. Well, we
9 is
walk,
sometimes too early.
we walk at 6:30 every morning. So
Very good.
what are you saying?
9?
9's okay
Yeah.
with me. Okay.
And I will call the members that didn't show up today and just see if there's something that we need to do or whatever.
Yeah, we're missing Elaine too.
Yep. Okay, are we good there?
So we have a meeting at 9 on the 16th, and we'll report back on these studies.
Yes. And I will send stuff to Steve and he can start. I mean, I don't know, there's going to be something at the very end, Steve, but you can look at the stuff. It's been so positive that I'm like,
Well, that'll be refreshing.
Yes.
No problem. I even type notes during these meetings. So as I get
Well,
your
they
stuff,
have it down to like a page
Great.
or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're just picking the highlights from there. So the one from League is a little less content and more feeling, if you want that.
Well, that's from what we have 11 League members over there. Is that what they said?
Yeah,
And they're sending summaries. Is that right?
yeah, that's right. Mhm.
Was there
Okay,
11?
yeah.
Oh, I thought there 5. But anyway,
Okay, so he's got that content.
is
Well,
that
I
is
got
that
the
the
notice.
content? I think they're light on content.
Yeah,
No, I
forward
said
it
he's
to me
got it.
too.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Steve?
Go ahead and forward all that to me. I don't
Okay.
mind. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
the first one from the League people were talking about how they didn't give anybody a microphone because they wanted to keep the group small. Did you read that? That was hysterical. And then it was really, really crowded. And the only person anybody could hear was, what's her name?
Carrie.
Pardon?
Carrie?
No. The only person they could hear was, she was the energy person before, short little lady, booming voice from Brooklyn, I think. I'm blanking her name.
There's also a group from CSU there.
Oh.
That's right. Yeah.
Students and at least one professor, I think. But I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know.
trying to promote campuses to start taking actions. That's
Mhm.
good.
I don't know if they're sending back reports, but they seem to be following them on Colorado Public Radio.
Oh,
They did an interview this morning, early this morning, with one of the students and one of the professors.
I'm dialing in on my computer,
I noticed that.
Sandy.
I
I'm
already
trying
got you in.
to,
Recording in progress.
So now you're echoing.
yeah, let me get off of the iPad.
Oh,
There we go. Well, the reason is I'm using
Still
the
on.
computer with the commission. Okay, I'm going to get off. I can see it works.
I can't believe I can't remember her name.
That's okay. None of us can either. I don't know who you're.
She was the energy. She was, head of the Department of Energy. Not that long during Obama. Little lady. Brooklyn
I'm terrible with
accent.
names.
Yeah, okay. I'll just pull up everybody. But yeah, it was Carrie and her and Blinken. And she was the only one anybody could hear because she had a booming voice, which is hysterical without a mic. Anyway, okay. I'll send you that stuff. Do we need anything else? You guys are ready to leave? Sign off?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll see you in
unless you want to stay longer, we can change the person who's in charge.
No, we have stuff to do and we'll be good.
and we're meeting in, just about
2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.